The Motorola Razr has a lot of hidden secrets or hidden tips and tricks that I'm going to show you in this video. So you want to stick around and make sure you don't miss any of them because there's a couple of them that are really unique to the Razr Fold. Let's go. So to start with, this phone has, all these extra buttons. Use my stylus here just to help point on things. And it has the AI button, which I've never really liked or used the AI button. But let's go dig a little bit deeper into it and see what this thing has to offer. So the button's right here on the side, and if you long press it to start with, it's going to give you a lesson on what's available, okay? Like, take notes for me. You press on that, and it tells you pay attention to the Motorola AI. It'll actually listen to your meeting. Say you're in a meeting at work. It'll take all the notes for you so you can remember that meeting afterwards. Now, of course, you may want to let folks know that that's what you're doing because a lot of folks wonder, what's the phone doing on the table? So now I went ahead and tried this out at church during Bible class. I went ahead and just recorded it to see how this would happen. So like you were in a meeting. So it's saved here in notes. And as you can see here, it just recorded everything. And what's really cool is, there's speaker one, speaker two, because there were questions and we talked. Matter of fact, I read a scripture at one point and it recorded that as well. But as you'll hear, I'm in a big auditorium, so I'm quite a ways away from them and just hearing things from the speaker here. Check this out.
We do all kinds of bench presses and shoulder presses and just have this giant upper body and legs that are just...
So you can see there, it picked up from across the room. And again, I was able to read scripture right there. There I am at speaker 3. And then it went all the way up to speaker 5 because there are different questions and people answering. So it's kind of cool. It caught the entire conversation. And then in the end, and we're talking, this thing's 43 minutes long. Okay. And then in the end, it had this right here, which it really encapsulated the entire thing. All right. It made up the topic, which it hit perfectly. And then it went through and talked about all the major points in there. So it's a perfect outline for what we discussed in class. And it explained every single point. I mean, worked perfectly and picked up the volume even from the distance. So the best part about this is I was actually able to do things in the background. As you notice, I read scripture, so I had to have a Bible app open because I used my phone the whole time. So you're able to minimize it, go ahead and do anything else on your phone, and it continues to record. Of course, I don't think I would play anything audio or whatever because that would interfere, but I was able to stay present in the class while it recorded everything in the background so it wouldn't miss. So I didn't no longer have to bother with taking notes and the possibility of missing something. This is one of the best productive features I've ever seen in a phone. And yeah, I know there are different apps out there and do this, but this is built in with the Motorola or Moto AI. And then all you have to do when you're done, if you want to, you can share it. You can hit this copy button and you can copy and paste it anywhere, or you can hit the share button here or down there. And see here it is right here. I can hit copy again. I can share it with anybody, put it in any app I want. I mean, that is a really great functionality. No more sitting around scribbling with a notepad and possibly even missing things. And I got to tell you, right now they have devices where you can purchase. I've actually reviewed some where they have that feature and you use those things, but then you have to take and transfer it to another device for it to actually have access, where on the Motorola, you can do all that right here on the phone. So if you're professional and you have an interaction with people all the time, turn that on, stick it in your pocket, and you don't have to worry about remembering. It'll take the notes for you. That's cool. So again, the next thing on the list here is remember this. Let's say, for example, I want to order something. I want to find it on sale. We'll just say the mic here. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to take a picture of this mic and add it to my photos there. There we go. And then I'm going to hit this check mark to remember it. There it is. And then I'm just going to type in here, look for this on sale somewhere. I need a second one. And then I just hit save. Okay. And it's going to remember the process. Now, this is one quick example. Now, let's say you're on a website and you're shopping or you're looking at something and you don't want to remember that. You just take and open up the program by long pressing this. And then you hit the remember this. And then the second button here is to remember the screen. So what it's going to do, it's going to capture the screen here. There it is. And remember to watch the Samsung Unpacked and make sure to order the Z Fold 8 wide. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and save that. Now here's the cool part. Once you've done that, all you got to do is you go into Moto AI. There's your memory. Click on it and check that out. There they are right there with the images that you saved. And this not only saved the image, but check it out. It deciphered the image. It told me unpack July 22nd, 2026. And then order the Z Fold 8. So it's right there. I didn't tell it that. I typed in a couple notes, but it automatically put that in there. And then on the microphone, you remember, I just took a picture. I didn't tell it what it was. And it says, I need to find this mono condenser microphone on sale to buy a second one. See there, it added to the notes. So that's pretty cool. I like the fact that the AI actually smartened up my notes. And then you can see I've got the visual right there, and I click on it and I can see the image. And if I want to click on this, I can see the actual website and drill in a little closer if I need to. So I like this. I think it's better than just doing a screenshot because it actually puts it in a spot where I can go right to the memory instead of putting it in a merry-go-round file of screenshots. I have it in one place and I know exactly where to go get that memory. And you could do this for anything. Take pictures of stuff. Like for me, if my wife tells me to go pick something up at the store and I don't know what it is or don't understand what it is, and I'm going to replace a product, I'll take a picture of the product and then put it in there so I don't forget. And then before I go home from work, I just hit my memories, so that's pretty good. If you're a forgetter, put it in memory. Then it has another feature here called Ask Copilot. Okay.
Hello there. It sounds like you're saying hello, and maybe just testing things out. I'm right here if you have any questions or something you want to chat about.
So that's pretty cool. You can hit continue here and you could just chat with Copilot.
So what we're seeing here is a couple of images side by side. The first one is a little bit blurry, but then the next two are nice and clear. It looks like a brownish leather surface and a keyboard. So overall, it does give us a bit of a clearer view of what you were trying to capture. If there's anything else specific you'd like me to look.
So you can see that feature was pretty cool. Right there, it was actually just analyzing what I was looking at. I didn't even ask it to do it. It just started doing that. So be aware. It uses your camera. But that's pretty cool. I use Gemini or ChatGPT off and on for doing that. I think it's cool that now Copilot does that. And right there through your AI button on your Motorola Razr Fold. My wife and I have used it to do brainstorming on ideas and landscaping and stuff around our house. It's really cool. And it actually has diagnosed plants and some of their issues and some of their types that we have. So that's fun. I'm going to show you laptop mode real quick on the phone. If you have a video that you're playing and you fold it like so, place it down, it will split your screen and give you controls down below. Typically, that's what it does. There we go. There it is. If it doesn't, just kind of fold it a little more, I guess. And there you go. And you can go full screen with the video just by stretching it out. And then when you do this, you got all the controls right there on the screen, as you can see here, where you can pause the video, play, jump ahead, jump back, which is a really nice feature to have. And then you can speed play. You can change the speed. And a lot of videos, I go to 1 1/4, and that's a pro tip. To watch the video a little faster, it speeds up. It gets rid of all the slow spots pretty much in a video. I really like doing that. And that's kind of how I watch all my videos. And occasionally, if they're a really slow talker, I'll go to 1.5. Anyway, so that's really nice right there on the screen. And then you can change the quality, okay? And I typically go to advanced and choose what I want. Like this is on 14,400. I don't think you really see a difference if you jump up, any higher than that because the screen doesn't really go that high. But as you can see, it's a really nice view there and you get to see everything. And these are all features or options in YouTube. If you actually go to YouTube and click the settings button at top, see here, if I go to YouTube, click the settings button, see, there's all the play speed, quality. Okay, it's all right there. But this places it right in front of you on the keyboard or on the laptop control panel, however you want to call it. Now, to be honest, that's not something I do a lot. What is better, and I'll show you an example from one of the videos I did, this thing turns into a desktop. computer when you plug it into a monitor. Check this out. As you can see here, it works right there. You could connect a keyboard to it and a mouse, and now you have a mobile computer. All you need is a monitor to plug it into. You can use a monitor in a hotel room. You can use a monitor, at friends or family's house if you want to show a video or show some photos. This is a really cool feature. And this is something that you could actually do through streaming as well, as long as the TV itself or monitor has streaming capability. I really love that idea. So often some folks don't realize that you have two docking stations on your phone. In other words, right down here at the bottom where you can dock apps there permanently, so they're always there. So no matter what you do, see how they're right there? They're always accessible. But there's also another one right up here. See that line right there? Right here on the side. You can put apps here and dock those so they are permanently accessible. Now, that extra docking station comes in really handy. Let's say, for example, if you're in another app and you want to access another app real quickly, there it is. Okay, the apps are right there. You can take another app here, and you can drag it here, see, and you can make it float, or you can split screen by dragging it right down there. And now you got both browsers actually open at the same time. And of course, it's much more convenient on the inside. And see, I have both open right there. And what's really cool is you just notice the pen works on both the inside and the outside. That is really cool. So now this is not a multitasking portion of the video. I've got plenty of those out there. I just wanted to show you this quick feature and the fact that this thing works right here on the pen. And you have so many different options right here. You can save a pair app right here by clicking that line in the front. And then you have other options up here by clicking the three dots. Okay, in other words, you can go full screen. And of course, if you want, you can access this docking station to open up another app. So let's say I want photos. You can take photos, you can drag them here. You can add photos as a third, so you have the three lines there. Or if you want to, you can make it a floating window. Let's make it a third. And that is just really cool. And if you want to make each of these full screen, you just take this and you open it. And now you got all three apps open full screen. And you can tap one side or the other, which is really cool. This is one of my favorite features about this phone. And this is one of my most favorite multitasking features. Now, I know I just said I'm not going to show multitasking, but I had to show this because we were just there. But this is my favorite feature is you can tap either side, okay? Where on most, you actually have to tap here. And then to get back, you got to go back to the other side. This is just really handy. And let's say you want to make note of something here. Like this is the World Cup phone for Motorola, which is really cool. And let's say you want to make a note on it or something. You use three fingers and just swipe down. Should capture that shot. And then you can see right there, it captured that shot. And you can use your pencil, your pen. You can take and highlight things if you want right there. Or you can take your pen and you can write on it. So that is really cool. Right there on the internal screen with your, I was going to call it an S Pen, but it is actually just a stylus writing pen for the Motorola Razr. Because, of course, as we know, Samsung stopped making it for their Fold. Yes, I had to put that dig in. So here's a really cool feature called Horizon Lock in the camera. So when you go into the camera, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you turn it, okay, so that this will be the Horizon Lock. You click the extra menu here at top, click Horizon Lock, and just start recording. And now everything, no matter how you turn this, will stay level in horizon. Even if I were to go upside down and then go all the way back, it's really cool. I'll go ahead and do a sweep here on my backyard. And as you can see here, I'll go ahead and turn the camera and then turn it some more. And you can see that it's going to keep the horizon lock once we play the video. So I think that's just a really cool feature. Now, of course, it only does that in 1080p, as you can see here. So it's not the best of video quality, but 1080p is not bad at all when you play it on big screens or even play it back on your phone. As you can see here, it's really clear and it keeps everything nice and level for you. So if you give a camera to a kid and you want them to take some video, turn on Horizon Lock. That way it's always going to be nice, cool, and level. So another feature a lot of folks just are not aware of and don't realize it's on the camera is the shutter speed. This thing's really fast. If you want to take an action shot or something, or your kid moving and you want to make sure you catch that moment, take the shutter speed and hold the button down, and it'll just keep shooting one photo after another. That's pretty quick. So you can get a lot of stop motion when you shoot that way. Now, some things you might not know about with this pen, of course, I already showed you could use it on the inside and outside, but it's got this button right on it. You see it right there. It's a little button. And then, of course, with the camera, it works as a shutter trigger where you could just press the button and it takes a picture. Or I'm on video, so it started the video, as you can see. Press it again, I can stop it. And then, of course, if I set to photos, I can press the button and it'll take a photo. So this will actually come in real handy when we go on vacations to be a remote trigger to take photos with the camera. So I don't no longer have to be left out of photos. So there's just a few features that I wanted to share with you on the Motorola Razr Fold. Hopefully you learned something and got something out of this. If you did, smash that like button down below because it really does help out the channel. If you want to see more on the Razr Fold, check out my list of videos by subscribing to the channel. It's real easy to do, and it costs you nothing. Just click that subscribe bar. And I know there's like 80% of you watching this video that haven't even subscribed yet. Go ahead and subscribe. Costs you nothing. Helps out the channel a lot. If you want to see this phone compared to others, start with this one here. Until next time, have a wonderful day and God bless.